And on this episode of Talking Way Too Much, we have this from Collider. Hannah Wilhelm kicks a major Ted Lasso update our way. Now, man, I would say Ted Lasso, by and large, was a great show. Then the final season happened. Might have been the final season when the stuff started happening. Then they started the shut up and play soccer. Characters are now lesbians. Everything is woke. It was such a great show, and then it just went so far off the rails in the end. This was a show that realistically could have gone 5, maybe 6 seasons if they did it right. It was about a soccer team. Okay, first season the team was doing terrible. They got knocked out of like whatever tournament they were and got sent to a different bracket or something. And then they have to work their way up from the bottom. And then they all came together with unity and togetherness and they forged bonds. And then all this great stuff happened. And then the third season happened and then the main character, Ted Lasso, just decided to leave. Just, he decided, I'm going to give up being a soccer coach and get back with my ex wife. And just, they rushed so much towards the end. I was like, what's happening here? Why would you get rid of? Apple Plus has nothing going on. But Apple Plus had Ted Lasso. And when this show was around, it was a very popular show, very heartwarming, did a lot of things right. Yeah, like I said, it got really woke towards the end though. But before that, it was a very good show. And they rushed the ending. I think it was like the last episode they decided we're just gonna do a time jump. It was so dumb. So poorly done. But somehow they're bringing the show back because at the end they teased the idea that they were going to make a women's team for the like a spin-off of whatever the team like WNBA is like, hey, we're just going to buy a women's team with it. And the main actress, Hannah Whittingham, fantastic actress. I'm telling you, if they make a Resident Evil Lady Demetres movie, she should be the one and only person playing the character. But like I said, it ended where it teases a female team, and you just know it's gonna be garbage. I mean, did you see Agatha? Did you see the Accolade? Have you seen all the female intended products? The females don't show up for this garbage. So why would a company want to sink hundreds of millions of dollars into it? But that's their business. Let's get to some beautiful quotes from this woman. She says, our writers are literally Jedi Knights. They're incredible. And we've got like a full room of real feminist men. Imagine for a second you want to say a quote that's going to make people want to watch your show. And you start off with, and we've got like a full room of real feminist men. Unbelievable. I think I'm all for free speech and stuff like that. I think when you are contracted with something, they control what you say. If you are casted in a Marvel movie, they are going to control everything you say. You don't have free speech anymore. You don't have free range of Twitter. In fact, I would almost go as far as say if I had a company and I hired you, I would take your Twitter away. I wouldn't disable it. It's just I'll write your tweets for you. Because then you have people that get into activism. You got the Rachel Zeglers and the Pedro Pascals and people like that just want to do their part to torpedo every single solitary project they have going on and cost the studio that gave them money cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. So if I contracted her for Ted Lasso and I said, okay, you're doing an article with Collider, here's what you're going to say. You're not going to say anything else. Not no more, not no less, just this. Goes on to say, so we've got all the fabulous women there and the men that are in there, and I think you really see it in the scripts. It's just so beautifully drawn. Lady, You have just killed your project before we even get a trailer, before we even get any more announcements. I think I did a video almost a year ago talking about this, that they said they're gonna bring it back. I'm like, why would you bring it back? It ended so horribly. You're just gonna pull a mulligan on it and go with the female league? But no, they are. They are gonna do that. Is Ted gonna come back and coach the women's league? There was a show, I forgot the name of it. It was on Disney Plus. It lasted 2 seasons. I think John Stamos was the coach. It was a female high school basketball team. It might have been one of the best shows that Disney Plus did at the time. Where, like I said, John Stamos was a basketball coach. I think he was a college coach at first, and he got suspended. I think it was like a year or something like that for throwing a chair and yelling at referees. So we needed some work. So he's like, okay, I'm going to go to this school here and then coach a female league. And first episode, he was dealing with a lot of the female problems. He told one of them that they had to lose weight, and she came into his office and she was so upset about it. Like, you embarrassed me. You told me all these things that made me feel like I'm fat. All these things, and he explained to her, I need you to lose weight because you get gassed out in the fourth quarter. I need you to do this so you'll be better. Sure, it tiptoed, dare I say, tiptoed on the woke line a little bit. However, these girls on the team bought into this quickly. They weren't winning games at all. They weren't doing well. They decided, let's listen to this guy who knows what he's talking about. And they all bought into it. And they started gelling better. And they started winning games. That's what it's about. But no, 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 no. This show here, you brought in the male feminist. Is Neil Druckmann there? Like, who would imagine reading that? Imagine if you're one of the writers, one of the male writers on that, and you read a quote of, yes, you brought in all the male feminists. Like, what a demeaning thing to say. Oh man. Their wives, boyfriends are probably laughing their ass off reading those things. But yeah, Ted Lasso season 4. There's no even like talk about Ted coming back. There's no talk of that at all. Like, is Jason Sudeikis even coming back for this thing? Or is it going to be like a couple of episodes go by and then he just shows up at the end of it? It's like, oh my god, he's back. You know what? That's how it's going to be. Ted Lasso is not going to be in this show at all for the very beginning of it. And then halfway through the season, he's going to show up and save the show because obviously ratings are going to be through the floor. Again, it's Apple Plus. No one can. How does Apple Plus exist? Again, just like Disney Plus, Apple Plus is even a bigger black hole. There is nothing on Apple Plus these days. They've never had anything. They had Ted Lasso for 3 seasons and then decide let's just tear it all down. And then you have all these companies pulling back on all this garbage because they know it's not working. But then you got Apple Plus and Ted Lasso season 4 pushing forward. I forgot her name again, but the woman's a great actress. And she could do so much better than this. Like I said, she is perfect for Lady Demetres. She could do a lot of things. She does not need to stick around for Ted Lasso season 4 that no one's going to watch or care about. But let me know what you guys think about that.
Yasuke the samurai under the Japanese sky. The Japanese sky. From Africa he came with a spirit that won't die. That won't die. In the service of Nobunaga, he stood tall and brave. Tall and brave. Yasuke the samurai, a legacy engraved.